Oh, okay, so, all right, I'll talk to you later. Oh, shit.
What did he say, John?
I don't want to say Nina's not going to answer.
What did he say? Nina's not
I
answering?
called, I found two numbers. He said, I called both of them and I left messages. So it's up for them to call him back.
Which they won't. Okay, I got on.
I don't know if I'm going to get on.
Am I new? Let me push you over.
No, wait. Connecting, wait, here it is. No, that's okay.
Recording progress.
The, John called me. Dave Walsh, you called him. Now, what do I do? How do I get the,
You're gonna X that out. Okay.
and then it'll get bigger?
What?
Then this will get bigger?
You get, I don't know how to get it bigger. I don't care about that.
That guy is there today. No, he just walked by. The one that gave you the hard time.
Oh, all right.
And he had a paper.
One, two, 1, 2. Test. Test.
Testing 1, 2. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. My name is Mike Ballard. I am the 99th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the history of the world, the Greater Las Vegas Rotary Club. March is dedicated to empowering women in their historic journey towards equality. Our Rotary International president, Shikar Mehta, stated, "There are many issues that girls face in different parts of the world, and you as leaders will ensure that we try to mitigate the disadvantages that girls may have." You know, we have been striving, as you can see just within our club, to bring diverse speakers, diverse new members into the club, and we've been doing a great job. We were one of the first clubs right when they allowed women to be president. We had Katie Crockett be our first female president. Now she's also going to be the first president that will serve twice at our club when she becomes our 100th president. So we're excited for her for that. Rotary does so many things to help various communities, and we're grateful for all the service that the women do. And as I was walking in with a few people, Brock Fraser and Richard Jost, we were talking about how women have made this club such a great club. So we want to give a hand to all the women in our club. Okay, our song leader today is Jamie Goldsmith. Our invocation will be given by Michael Gordon. Michael, come on up. You've got your son, I see. Great. And Jamie, come on around.
So tomorrow is April 1st, a day where people play practical jokes on each other. So while I know that our invocation is not a time to be silly and frivolous, I do know that past President Tom Thomas and past President Brock Fraser always wants diversity for our prayers. So I brought somebody with me today who has a different prayer. So if you can play along, he will show you. Yes, Samuel, what are you going to say? You can do it. Okay, everybody, rainbows up. Show them the rainbow. Rainbows up. Okay. Up. Okay. Say. I like rainbows. They are great. Thank you, God, for the food on my plate. In Jesus' name, amen. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was trying to decide what song to sing today, what I really wanted to do today was the Jerry Engel combo. So Jerry has agreed to do the song today. Oh.
Set it up. Dan, you're going to have to stand behind. Come on. Okay. You got it.
Hello, everybody. Well, I got a call this morning from Jamie. Says, Jerry, I'd like to do the Jerry Engel combo today. Are you available? Well, I happen to be on the schedule next week. So Jamie, you're going to have to find someone else. But I said, sure. How can I turn down Jamie? She's always so hardworking, and I can't say no to her. So anyway, this week we're going to do it the hard way, and Jamie's going to help me. We're going to do Jerry Engel combo number 2. Now, remember last time the combo was, we start with God Bless America, and I cue in, because it's a stanza, God Bless America and America the Beautiful is one stanza short. in America the Beautiful. So we have to figure out how to make it work. So anyway, we know that I start out with God Bless America with half the room, and then bring in the America the Beautiful, and then we end up at the same time. Little different this time. We're going to start out, both of us are going to start out with God Bless America and America the Beautiful. And now you got to listen to me, because Jamie's going to lead you. And we start out with not God Bless America, but Oh God Bless America. Oh God. Just remember, very important that we come out okay. And then at the end, we're still a stanza short. So then all of us will sing the last stanza, and you know it well. Let's see if I can. That's how we're going to end it. Are you ready? Yeah. From this side, let's see how many, you got to make about half. So this table by Cedra, you go ahead with this side with God Bless America. This side is America the Beautiful, or did you announce it the other way? Which way?
America the Beautiful and God Bless America.
And remember, oh God, so we're going to start together. Are you ready? And one more time, everybody. God, sweet home. Okay. Afraid we're going to have to try that again someday.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jamie. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Great, great, great. Okay, first of all, I want to thank Katie Crockett, who I don't believe is here. I haven't seen you. Katie, are you here? She's not here, but she subbed in for me last week. I was traveling, and so glad to be back. This meeting requires lots of helpers. And we'd like to thank all those that helped today. Bob Warner and Kathy Mahan for setting up. Our greeters, Tony Kern and Jerry Brown. Mike Gordon offered the invocation, and our song leader was Jamie and Jerry. Allison Wexler will be our Sergeant of Arms. Get ready in about 2 minutes. You're getting ready to go. Barbara Castro and John Pally will be doing our teardown. Nancy Anderson will be doing the scribe work. Okay. Thank you, Bob, for getting everybody's attention. Okay. And then our AV team of Kirk and Sue, we appreciate you. Please give a hand to all those people that make today possible. Okay. Also, if you notice someone who isn't here, who should be here, you know, that, I'm thinking of a couple people that normally come that aren't here, reach out, and say hi, see how they're doing. We have a bunch of announcements, but before we get to those, we need to introduce our Rotarians that are visiting from other parts of the country or the world. So this is Rotarians that are already members that are coming from other parts. So we have over here, Tina, you have two with you.
Yes, we have some folks here from Knoxville, Tennessee. They're traveling the West while sneaking in a visit with a couple of their children. This is Sue and John Everson.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I wish I could say that Dolly Parton gives her greetings to us all, but we're from Tellico Lake Rotary, and I just have to correct you. We're the greatest Rotary club in the universe.
No. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Oh, we got a flag exchange. What? Do we have a flag? Oh, they already have it. Oh. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Any other Rotarians visiting from other parts of the world? Okay, how about guests of Rotarians? Okay, we'll start here and then go back that way, Allison.
Today, we're having Bob Pizer again for his third time. And I think we're going to have him solicited for membership soon.
Awesome. Welcome, Bob. Okay, in the back there, John brought a guest, another immigrant from California.
Yes, that's right. So this is my old friend who I've known 35 years. We hadn't talked in a while, and last week we connected, and he told me, yeah, I just moved to Summerlin. I said, hey, I live here too, so I'm going to get you out to the Rotary Club. So he is with Deloitte, a project manager there. His name is Steve Latta.
Great. Welcome, Steve. Awesome. Okay, Susan Ziobro, who do you have as a guest?
My guest today is Ann Bernard, and Ann is a retired Marine, and she's also, I think she can explain it better to me, but she's in the conceptual stage of what our life's going to be like with artificial intelligence and how it's going to change our lives and make us better people.
Great. So welcome. Thank you. Okay, guests, we have a couple guests over here. We've got 3 tables worth of guests. We'll start here, then there, then there.
I'd like to introduce David Chu. He's a developer in real estate from the Bay Area.
It was very nice to meet you, and thank you for allowing me to be your guest.
Great, thank you. Awesome. Russ, who do you have?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Russ Swain here. I have 2 guests today. My good friend Ed Bannigan, he's the area vice president of UiPath, and he's a second-time visitor here at our club. And my other guest today is Don Medlin. He's the VP of Business Development with one of our partners at Alera Group Las Vegas, Foresight Insurance, and we'll be talking to you guys later.
Awesome. You know, Russ, you didn't have to mention your company, and that's a $50 fine right there. Okay, Mike, who do you have?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I have my better 3/4 here. She is actually representing Las Vegas in the Mrs. Nevada pageant come later this year. And today is our 19th wedding anniversary.
Awesome. No. Okay, Michael, who do you have? Michael, do you have a guess? Congratulations, by the way, on your 19th wedding anniversary, Mike.
This is Tracy Banner, my senior marketing director of the hospice
Okay, hold on, guys. I didn't catch your name.
of our hospice agency, Tracy Banner.
Tracy.
She was with us during Santa Claus too.
Awesome. Okay, is that all our guests of Rotarians? Everybody, let's give another warm welcome to our guests of Rotarians. Okay, April 21st and 22nd is the Green Our Planet volunteer opportunity. I think we've talked about it plenty. We're going to just go with that. Our district assembly in Apple Valley, California is April 23rd. So put that on your calendars. April 29th, we're doing a tree planting ceremony at my alma mater, Quantum. We're excited. I'm excited for that. Beach cleanup is May 21st. All these should be in your calendar. Bobbin, do you have some announcements for us? Great. Where are you? Okay. 25 Club President, we appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Bobbin. Thanks, Will. Thank you. I'm going to take Will with me everywhere I go. So on May 21st, as Mike mentioned, we have the beach cleanup at Lake Mead at 7:30 a.m. After that, there's going to be jet skis and we're going to go on the boat and enjoy a picnic. So come out for that. Also, typically the first Thursday of the month, we have our 25 Club social. However, in April, it's going to be the second Thursday. It's the 14th. It's going to be at Carrie's house. We have a guest speaker as well. And we are going to do another bingo night because our last bingo night was pretty successful. So come on out. Again, it's at 6 p.m. on April 14th at Carrie's house. I'll send out the email today about that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Bobbin. We also had Russ. Why don't you bring Russ? Why don't you bring your guest up here? Yes, he does.
Hey, fellow Rotarians and guest Russ Swain, past President Russ Swain here. I'm grateful that Mike gave me the microphone twice in one meeting. It's a miracle. And I will mention the Alera Group one more time because I'm really grateful. Recently, I brought this great big check and talked about there was one of my partner carriers that had a special event. It was a bowling event, and my team from my company won the event, and they donated $3,000 to the charity of our choice. And what do you guys think I chose? The Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. That's right. And so I had a big fake check, and Don's here today. He's been a partner of our firm for a really long time, and he's got the check in hand. And, you know, we could bring up Tom Thomas too, because he's matching that for 3,000 more. Come on up, man. I told Don, I go, that 3,000 that you gave just turned into 6,000 because of this guy right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for matching that.
And, you know, enough said, right?
Okay. Ready? There you go, Bob. Great. Hey, Russ. Thank you very much for doing that, but that's also another $50 fine. Okay. Actually, we've got another fine for somebody that was just up. Tom Thomas, you're photographed in this magazine. I think a couple of our members brought this up as in this glamour magazine called Vegas. You and your lovely wife, Leslie, at the Magical Forest Gala. So thank you very much. We've been asked to fine you as well, $100. Okay. And then we've got one other fine, Austin Wyrick. Did you hand out flyers a couple weeks ago? And what happened with those flyers? What about those flyers is noteworthy?
There was like a burning building and a baby and a dog, and I went and saved them, and I hit print and it just came out all types of wrong. And I don't know what happened, but you could also, being that Kirk is my partner, I'm gonna split the bill with him, whatever that fine looks at.
Got it.
Yeah, so my company Sparo, we're doing our grand opening down the road here on Spencer and Flamingo. I would, of course, love for all of our fellow Rotarians to attend. It's going to be next Tuesday, April 5th at 5 o'clock. I do have more flyers with the correct address. So if you would love to attend, there will be free booze and free tacos.
Awesome. Great.
Also, I want to get with Rotary too about seeing if we can set up a Rotary booth there. That would be great.
Awesome. That's great.
Thank you.
But for handing it out and for the misspellings, $100 fine. There you go. Okay, we're grateful for that. We have two Paul Harris Fellows to award. Is that correct, Michael? Okay, so the Paul Harris Fellowship is donations to Rotary International. Rotary International has been fantastic in helping to eradicate polio and fight other disease. And we have a lot of other great causes. Mike, who are we awarding today?
Calling on Dave Thorson and Nancy Anderson, please. Before I award this, let me just remind that there was the foundation, district foundation reception this Sunday. The international director was there, Vicky Poulis, who awarded major donors to two of our members. Let me call on Mr. Jim Cole, past president Jim Cole, and Katie Crockett was also a major donor. So let me award Paul Harris Fellow +2 to Dave Thorson. And Paul Harris to Nancy Anderson.
Okay, folks, we are done with our announcements. Enjoy your time of fellowship and food. Thank you very much. Okay. Welcome again. Allison, do you know how much the pot is today?
I do.
Tell us.
Information.
Close to 2,800.
Yes, that's right. Oh,
Probably more than that with what you collected today, for
Yes.
sure. Okay,
Thank you.
so for the right to draw the pot, let me put on my glasses so I can see. It stinks getting old, let me tell you. Okay, I've got 749,949. 749,949. Winner, winner, who's our winner? 749,949. Come on up. Come on up. Yay. Our guest. Oh, she gets a 2. Look at that. Okay, here you go. Okay, every week the odds get better because we tear up the card that didn't win. Okay, now for $50, in Lowry's gift cards. Where'd those glasses go? I try to see it. It's light printing. 296,042. 296,042. Randy Campanelli. Okay. Great. We are going to sell some Rotary gift cards down the road. We have a few in the budget that's part of our fundraiser for the foundation. So if you're interested, make sure to see me or Sean. And now I'm going to ask Tom Thomas to come introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Mike. It's a pleasure for me to introduce a very good friend of mine, Dix Jarman. Dix is the CEO of Sunburst Shutters, a company that he and his wife started 34 years ago here in Las Vegas. And now he spends most of his time traveling around because he's international. So some things I wanted to say about Dix, though. We were talking about the commonality of Rotary with the virtues that have been taught by some of the most impressive people on the planet, including a man from Galilee who I revere. And it's so much fun for me to introduce the theme of this club to people who are living it on a daily basis in their business and in all of their community efforts. And Dix is doing that in every way, shape, and form. A little secret, though, if you run into Dix out on some golf course, he did play collegiate golf for one of the best teams in the country. So watch his handicap. And another little side business that Dix is doing just for fun, because sometimes we get into these businesses, is one of the neatest bike stores in Las Vegas called Bike Brain. They sell a bike that most of you have never heard of, a brand called Orbea. But if you watch the Tour de France, you'll see several teams using these bikes. They're just phenomenal pieces of equipment and a lot of fun. My buddy, Dix Jarman.
when Mike called me, I've known Mike for 30 years or more. He's helped our company over the years. And when he called, I've been really busy. Our factories in Wisconsin, and with the supply and all the things you all know about that are going on, it's been a difficult year. It's been a year of opportunity, but a difficult year. And I knew I had a couple of trips back to Wisconsin, and Mike and I are close enough friends. I was ready to say, Mike, I'm too busy right now. Can I do it? And he said, before I said that, he said, Tom Thomas, it brought your name up in our committee. And I said, wait, stop. If Tom asked, the answer is yes, period. And that will always be the case. Mike, it's kind of the case for you, but it's like many of you, I'm sure, feel the same way about Tom. And he's, my wife and I, Kayleen, moved to Las Vegas in 1988, a year after we'd been married. I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and in the first church congregation on First Ward we lived in, Tom and Leslie were a young married couple in that ward. And it's just been fun to get to know them over the years in our church congregation, and also professionally. I've also been able to ski and ride bikes and do other things with Tom. He's one of my heroes. So I'm grateful to be here. My dad was a member of the Rotary Club in Phoenix, Arizona. He was the executive vice president of Arizona Public Service, the utility there in Phoenix. And I remember 15 years old, I was an Eagle Scout, and my dad assigned me or asked me to come and speak to the Rotary Club there in Phoenix. I was so nervous. It was a room like this, and I'm a 15-year-old kid. I'm glad to report I'm not anywhere near as nervous today. In fact, it's extremely comfortable, frankly, to stand in front of you and talk about something that I'm passionate about, and hopefully relate a little of my business and my experience to the things that the Rotary Club stands for. So I have a little PowerPoint thing. Do I have that clicker, or does somebody else? Oh, right there. I see it. I see it. And up means down and down means up because it's Apple, right? I don't know. Oh, there we go. It is on. Let's see though. It might have just reset. There, you help me. Technical difficulties. This happens every time. Okay. Okay, thank you. So this is a great story. It's not as exciting as many businesses. It's not as important as saving lives. I was playing in a golf tournament recently with a surgeon from the Phoenix Children's Hospital, and he was talking on the tee box about he's an emergency room physician there, and a young woman came in who did not even know that she was with child. It was a very difficult situation. He delivered a baby. He saved the baby, and the baby was successfully adopted. And it was just an unbelievable story. And we're sitting there on the tee, and he's telling this story. And I kind of thought for a minute, and I said, well, last week I measured some windows that were really wide, and it was really hard. So certainly my business is not critical to humanity, and it's not important in the grand scheme of things, but it's been a great thing for my family and our employees and our community here in Las Vegas. It's a great story because it's the American dream. My uncle, Ron Swap, started this business here in Las Vegas. He lived on Pecos and Trop. I was a little kid that he was just my favorite uncle. We'd come visit from Phoenix, and his wife wanted shutters in their kitchen window, and he priced them out. This is so much his personality. He's like, I'm not paying that. And he says, I'll build them. So it's not the easiest thing to build. The margins and things to make a shutter operate and those louvers move, you can't be off 1,000th of an inch. Well, he built them, and they were great. I think it took him 6 months, and he probably spent 10 times more than what that quote was, but he built them. And then my mom wanted some when she saw her sister. His wife was my mom's sister. And that snowballed a little, and he started building shutters on the side. That grew into a little shutter business in Phoenix, Arizona. And I came, after I graduated from BYU, I went and talked to him about his business because he was out measuring at the customer's home, contracting for the work, then going back at some point in the shop and building the product, and then going out and installing the product. And I had a business degree. You didn't need a business degree to get this, but it at least helped. And I said, Ron, that's not going to create an ongoing business model that works, because you got to be doing all three of those things all the time. He's like, well, how am I going to do that? And I said, well, you're not going to do it. We're going to build a team that does those things. So I helped him grow the business, and it grew to what it is now nationwide. But I wanted to tell a little about how that story affected, the business itself. We knew that we needed to be different. In fact, let's see if I can keep making this work. That's my uncle Ron Swap right there. I know there are some friends in here. A gentleman introduced himself. I already forgot your name. I'm sorry. Who was a good friend of Gary Waite. Some of you may know Gary Waite here in town. Was a dentist. He was Ron Swap's roommate in college. And so that's Ron connected us with Gary and Paula when we moved to Las Vegas. Gary and another dear friend, David Nelson, died in a terrible plane crash about 25 years ago. I'm the one that dropped Gary off at the hangar there at the North Las Vegas airport and was supposed to be on that plane with him and David back to Utah. But my wife convinced me it was more important to drive to Phoenix for my mom's 60th birthday party. So I'm glad I went to my mom's birthday party, but I still miss Gary. And thanks for reminding me of that. And it's a sad day, but what a great guy. Ron was his roommate in college. And so Ron started this little shutter business, but we were able to scale it because we applied business principles that apply to any business. And one of those was, how do we differentiate ourselves? And there was a company in Germany that I'd read some things about that was doing what's called, and is very common now, cellular foam PVC extrusion. So a PVC extrusion is nothing more than like the pipe in your sprinklers in your yard, but a foam or a cellular PVC extrusion is solid. The problem was they were big in the picture frame industry, moldings. Think of all the moldings, door casings, picture frames, anything that had one side you could hide, right? Because one side doesn't have to look good because you're going to nail it to the wall. But a shutter product, a louver, and every part of our product has to look all the same all the way around. No seams, no lines. And so they told us that can't be done. And we helped develop a procedure where the extrusion would go through a water bath and cool before it touched anything, because that's why that one side is bad, because it's the one riding on the conveyor belt and it gets marred because the product is soft till it dries. We developed that and patented that. And for many years had a patent in the window covering industry for these 360-degree PVC extrusions that don't have any seams or sides. So that's a louver for our shutter product. And one of our taglines is, you won't believe it's not wood. And that's the real difference for our product is you can't tell if I handed you this and I handed you a wood louver, which one's which. So now what are the advantages? Well, first of all, we don't tear down trees. Second, it doesn't warp, crack, chip, or peel. And so it was a huge difference for our business from an economics model, because where a good example is we had a wood shutter plant in Phoenix, Arizona that was building about 200 shutter panels a day. And this is our trademark material, polywood. And our polywood, I'm going to go back to that one. Our polywood shutter, we were building in an adjacent plant, and we were building the same 200 panels a day. So 200 panels a day out of each plant. The wood factory had 41 employees. The polywood factory had 2 employees. So you don't have to, again, you don't have to have a Harvard business degree to have that knock you in the head and say, that's a good idea. And so that was very scalable because the material is perfect. Whereas wood, you have to defect it as you go and figure out where the knots are and throw out the ones with a crack. And so that's really what put our business on the fast track. And then we started opening offices all over the country. Our factory is in beautiful Wausau, Wisconsin. Sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. I forgot the up and down thing. This is our plant in Wausau, Wisconsin, where all the shutters are made and then shipped to all the Sunburst Shutters locations that I've set up nationwide. So polywood is our product, which is a proprietary extrusion technology, which has now been knocked off by the Chinese and is sold through many different companies. We just feel like we still do it better. And being first to market was important for that. These are the offices and locations we have around the country. And the thing that I think is maybe the most important to me is that, and I've met some people here when I came in that are customers of ours, and I'm never worried. Thank you. I'm never worried about meeting my customers. Think about what that means. There's a lot of businesses and a lot of opportunities, and they may be fruitful and they may be profitable, but sometimes you don't necessarily want to run into your customers. And it's the greatest part of my day. Every day on the golf course, in the store, in a meeting like this, at church, wherever, I run into customers. I've yet to have a customer of our company that would rather have their money back than the product we sold them. And that just means so much to me. The most important employee in the Sunburst Shutters organization would be my wife. Kayleen ran our showroom on Flamingo and Torrey Pines when we rolled into town in 1987. She did all the scheduling and all the contracting, and I just hustled around in our little minivan selling shutters. And it's been such a fun ride to stay involved in our company, have it grow, have it affect other people and their lives. And I want to maybe finish by talking a little bit about this club and the similarities for me and my business. Tom was showing me the program for today. The first thing that kind of stung was that's my picture, but I don't look like that any longer. So I'm glad you used an old picture, whoever was in charge of the program. But I also noticed something else on this program. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. You're all familiar with this. I just read it for the first time today. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Now, I may be making a little bit of a stretch because certainly window coverings are not as important as saving lives and putting out fires and building economies. But in a small way, I want you to know I took an aptitude test. And I'm sure I'm going to offend someone with this comment, but take it in the spirit it's intended. I took an aptitude test in college. Many of you have taken those. It's just a whole series of all kinds of crazy questions, and the way you answer it directs you towards potentially a career path. Well, I was off the charts to become an attorney. And I had a discussion with my dad. My dad is my hero. My dad passed away 4 years ago, and I could spend this whole time just talking about my dad. My mom passed away a week ago. The reason I didn't do this meeting when Mike first asked is because I was up there speaking at her funeral in Salt Lake. That was a happy time. It was time for her to go. She'd suffered from serious dementia. I was so grateful that she just moved on. And I'm so grateful that I know that she did move on, that she didn't just turn to dust. She's with my dad, and that's great comfort. But my dad sat me down when I got that aptitude test, and I said, it looks like I'm going to law school. He said, son, I don't think that's going to be best for you. He knew of my talents, but like a good father, he also knew of my weaknesses. And he said, I'm a little concerned because of how competitive you are, that in a field like the legal profession, you will gravitate towards areas where you can just sell snow to an Eskimo. You could sell someone on an idea, whether it's right or wrong, and you probably make a lot of money. But I'm not sure that's a good thing for you. And so I didn't go to law school, and I ended up in the shutter business. When I read these four things, I got to tell you, my heart swelled, because I've said this many times, never regarding these 4 items, Tom, but they fit in with something I've said about my business forever. And that is, it's the easiest business you could ever imagine to be completely honest. There isn't any situation where we need to lie or cheat or over promise. We can do exactly what we said we do, when we said we'd do it, and the way we said we'd do it. We said we would do it. And so I read those and I'm like, how great is that? Is it the truth? You bet it is. Is it fair? Every time. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? It has for 34 years for me. And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So I'm really grateful that this little shutter business that started right here in Las Vegas and is now the largest shutter company in the country, it fits those 4 criteria that this club stands for. And I'm grateful for the chance I've had to share a little about my company with you, but more importantly, my company's connection to this city and the commitment we have to Las Vegas. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And I thank you all so much for having me. I meant to ask Mike that. Is there a Q&A? There is a little? All right, Q&A. Mike.
Why the manufacturing company in Wisconsin?
Okay. I just told you how much I love Las Vegas, but you cannot find the labor pool, work ethic, honest day's work for an honest day's pay anywhere in this world, in my opinion, than good cities and states like Wisconsin and Minnesota. We started our factory there because it's where the paint line was that finishes our material. I have 30 people in that factory that have worked in a factory setting, cutting louvers, assembling panels, that have over 25 years with me. And that doesn't happen, unfortunately. It's not a high paying job. It's not a high profile job. It's a labor job in a factory. We make sure it's safe and a good place to work. That's my commitment. But I can't believe that our people there stay with us. So I will never leave Wisconsin. That's a great question. Thanks, Mike. Any other questions? Yeah. So just like I said, you won't believe it's not wood. We extrude the material in 3 colors, basic whites, but it can be painted just like wood. There's an additional fee because I got to paint it, but it acts and we treat it just like wood. We sand it, nail it, putty it, caulk it, paint it, whatever. Stand up. Stand up. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. If you didn't hear, he's had our shutters in 3 of his homes.
And they never warp, even in the hot sun beating on them all day. And they keep working, and I appreciate them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, here and then.
Great story. Love to hear all that stuff. I wish it was more true that the people who start the businesses are still running the businesses. So those 25-year-old or 25-year veteran employees are still there.
Yeah.
Question: how do you UV stabilize your shutters against the beating sun in the desert?
That's a great question. Very technical. So this resin, as it stands, is not UV stabilized. If you've ever left your PVC pipe, you were going to put your sprinklers in, and you procrastinated for a couple of months in the summer, what color does that pipe turn? So would this material. And so the finish, that's why we're in Wisconsin, a company called Line Tech, that's an architectural coatings company, and probably the EPA's benchmark for clean architectural coating, puts a finish on this like paint that you and I can't paint because it's a highly VOC level coating and it's done robotically. And so there's no emissions issues. It's a lacquer, which we don't spray now, right? Because that's dangerous, but they can still spray that kind of material in this plant because they capture all the air and keep it safe. So that material, that paint on top of the louver now makes it completely UV stabilized, and it allows us to be able to paint it another color after that. Right. The resin is this, I'm not allowed to tell you. No, I will tell you, because we don't say the word because nobody wants to buy shutters made of PVC because that's what the pipes are. That's not cool. That's not high end. But the reality is it's the exact same chemical makeup as PVC pipe, which is lasts 100 years underground, right? We protect it on the surface and now it will last 100 years in your windows. Oh, sorry, right here.
Dix, just a shout out to you. I wandered into that showroom at Flamingo and Torrey Pines maybe 25 years ago.
That's great.
And ordered for every window of my 3,000 square foot house that I owned at the time. And the shutters looked as good the day I moved out as the day they were installed.
This is Mike, did you set this up? Tennessee? Nashville. Nashville. And we can get to you, but that's where we're based, in Tennessee.
So thank you. And it's great to see a success story. Your raw material is basically petroleum based, and we're living in a world where we have a government that's incredibly petroleum unfriendly, not to mention supply chain issues. I wonder if you could comment on what the current political environment and supply chain environment and stuff is and how it might be affecting your business.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's a politically charged subject. The good news is with the electric vehicles and other things going electric and solar and other things that are good for all of us in this world, plastics, all types of plastics are also dependent on these petroleum reserves and all that goes with that. The good news for us specifically is PVC is a different resin, rather unlike polyethylene or polypropylene, which are petroleum oil byproducts. PVC is a byproduct of natural gas being a little less volatile and a little less politically charged. So luckily for us as a company, it doesn't come up as a negative. And more importantly, I think we don't control the production of fuel and energy that those products do. We're utilizing the byproduct of what's going to come as a result of that process anyway. So it's either going to go in a landfill or in other areas, and we try to consider this a beneficial use of a byproduct of cracking natural gas.
As a family-owned small business, you took it from your uncle took it from something small and took it to market after market after market. How did you do that? What were some of the challenges? And any pointers would be great.
I don't know if this answers business school worthy, but it's exactly what we did. My uncle approached me about this because of my wife. And so we hired, in all those cities you saw on that map, we hired a husband and wife team that became an equity partner. So my partners in every one of those offices are the local manager. And the local manager in every case is a husband and wife team. And 90% of the time, we hired the wife, and the husband came along as part of the package. Which fits in with your March emphasis on women in business. My plant manager in Wisconsin is a woman. My CFO is a woman. My quality control manager is a woman. Our production designer is a woman, and our inventory. I mean, they're the best people I have. Every one of them. I love them like sisters.
Hi, thank you for coming and speaking to us today. I was curious, when you look at your customers' product, what is it you're trying to provide to your customers? Like, what is your purpose here? And also to follow that, where's the future of this company going?
So the first question, shutters fit a really unique need. Everyone window coverings at some time. I'm the first one to get a customer. The best thing on your window is nothing. It's so beautiful. Look out a clear glass window, especially if you have a view. But it doesn't work all the time. Glare on the privacy, control of the environment, heat. So window coverings are a necessity. We just feel like the niche we've hit, and we've been doing this 40 years now, and last year was the best year we've ever had, and this year's on pace to be that. We've grown every single year of the 40 years. That's not a credit to us. That's a credit to the fact that shutters are a very functional window covering and also beautiful. I say to people all the time, you can spend $20,000 on these automated roller shades, and they're very functional, unbelievably functional. Come right out of the ceiling, cover the window. But they're not pretty. When you drive by the outside of that house, it could just be a sheet on that window. It doesn't do anything for the look of that house. Shutters have a very unique look. And so they're sold as much for how they look as how they function. And to me, that's a real key. To call the men out, I'm not sure many men are involved in the window covering decision in the process of building or buying a home. I wasn't. But men love shutters because they're functional, and women love shutters because they're beautiful. And so it hits both of those. And the future of the company is, I have no idea specifically ours. I don't plan on going anywhere. I'm old now, but I'm healthy and I'm happy. I love my business. So yes, one of the goals we have as a company is to open more international offices, just because we think the product works so well, and we have a lot of inquiries and interest at that level. People coming to us and saying, I met Tuesday, I was in Salt Lake with a company from Seoul, Korea, and they would like to use our same technology. So I just need to teach them how to do it, duplicate the equipment we've designed. All our equipment you saw in that factory, we built and designed. So none of it's ordered on Grainger.com. It's designed and built. So we copy that, sell it to them in Seoul, maybe do a license arrangement, and then they become a distributor in Seoul, Korea. So it's to try to grow the international footprint. Great question. My favorite customer. Yeah. So the curved portion on the top, that's where the company got its name. That's, to us, that's a sunburst because it looks like the sun. It has a little hub in the center, and the veins emanate out like the rays of sun. Yep, any shape. Because if you can draw it, if it's a geometric shape, we can build it. And if it's not, we just need a template. Hey, those are great questions. Mike, you gonna finish it up?
Well, just talk a little bit about the individual number of employees, some of the economic development numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
you've got a lot of employees here and there.
We started with 3 employees, my wife, myself, and Dwight Clayton, who we hired right here in Las Vegas. He was our installer. Dwight passed away from COVID a year ago up in Montana. That was a hard day. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. But today we have 700 employees nationwide, and we build 3,000 custom shutter panels a day in that factory in Wisconsin, and those get shipped out to all those locations you saw on the map. And the gross revenue of the company this year will be about $125 million. I didn't say anything about the net revenue, but the gross revenue is really good. But Thank you all so much. Thank you very much.
I got to tell one quick story. The reason I met Sunburst was my wife wanted shutters in her home, and I had a PR firm at the time. And so she called Stan Nielsen, his partner, and said, "Hey, Stan, I want some shutters, but I want to trade you for them." And he said, "Trade you for them? What could you do?" "Well, my son or my husband will work for you." And that's how we started our relationship. And we got shutters in our first home.
And we got the better part of that deal. Mike did a great job.
We did a lot of PR for years. Basically, Dix, we're giving you this Soul Power Award where we donate shoes in your name to one of the 6 schools that we sponsor throughout the community. So thank you for your time today. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Okay. Thank you all for coming. We're getting out a little early. We appreciate all your time and service. Mark your calendars. We got lots of great events, and we'll see you here next Thursday, if not sooner. Thank you. One more.